Tigerland. A fighting fury right from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and chin. If we're behind, we never mind. We fight and win. Oh, we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren blows. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold. Oh, we're from Tiger, yellow and black. Oh, we're from Tiger, eat 'em alive. Oh, we're from Tigerland. Oh, we're from Tigerland. A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and chin. If we're behind, we never mind. We fight and win. Oh, we're from Tigerland. We never weaken till the final siren blows. Like the tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold. Oh, we're from Tiger, yellow and black. Oh, we're from Tiger, eat 'em alive. Oh, we're from Tigerland.
Hoo-ah, 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 we are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S, Buffaloes. You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain as the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? They all played a jolly good game of bally-boo. They all played a jolly good game of bally-boo. They all played a jolly good game, but buffaloes beat them all the same. Inky-pinky bally-boo. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain that's the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. They simply fade away. They simply fade away.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFLNT coverage of the 22-23 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium here in Darwin on Larrakia country. We're here for round 8 action of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. This afternoon, Nightcliff Tigers taking on Darwin Buffaloes. My name is Nick Danks, and my commentary partner this afternoon, Ian Butterworth. Ian, how are you this afternoon?
Look, I'm well, Nick, and I'm interested particularly in watching Darwin Buffaloes. I've only seen them play for half a game. I was out at Palmerston when the game was called off just before half-time.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a player injury, and we missed 30 minutes, so the game was abandoned. But I watched Nightcliff last week, Nick, and I thought that against St Mary's, probably a little bit unlucky. They kicked 3 goals, 7, mind you, in the last quarter, and went down by 2 or 3 points. So Nightcliff have got a little bit to catch up on, and Darwin Buffaloes, they're 3-2, so they've won 3 and lost 2, and Nightcliff are 3-3, so pretty evenly poised. The winner of this game, it's almost an 8-point game, and so looking forward very, very much. But Darwin Buffaloes, as I said, I've only seen them for half a game. They impressed me, and they've got an even spread of players. Nightcliff up and down week by week, in my view.
Absolutely. I think Nightcliff this week in training would have done a lot of kicking practice, because I think they've got 17 points in the end and went down by 2. So hopefully they can kick more accurately tonight.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that there's got the leadership group from both teams out. Cameron Stokes, the coach of Darwin Buffaloes, missing, I think, for the first time in his coaching career. He's got a social event to attend out of town, so Cameron Stokes will not coach Darwin Buffaloes. Damien Zammit, a long-time Buffalo player and coach, will take the coaching role there. And Ryan Nyhouse, who in my view, I've seen a bit of Nightcliff as distinct from Darwin Buffaloes. Nyhouse has probably been all round Nightcliff's best player this season. Their skipper down back not playing, so they'll miss Nyhouse. Yep. and then we'll just see how Damien Zammit goes in the coaching box.
Absolutely, and of course while we wait for this game to start, last night a big crowd here at TIO Stadium. A footballer running around, played a few games of AFL. Gary Ablett Jr. was out here, of course. Unfortunately though, Palmerston went down to St Mary's by 31 points, but it was a big night here at TIO.
Look, a terrific night, and a bumper crowd, which is what we'd expect. And as I said right at the outset, I saw Darwin Buffaloes play for half a game, and I think that's about all that unfortunately the great man could play. He was on the ground for a lot longer than that, but I think the old calf injury got to him in the end. But nonetheless, fantastic to see him up here.
Absolutely, I think they rested him in the forward pocket there for a while. And today, a couple of other games on. Just your thoughts on those. Tracy Village already started. Wanderers versus Tiwi Bombers.
Gee, Wanderers they've had a dirty season, and the Tiwi Bombers not much better. I reckon it'll be a pretty close game, but Wanderers know how to play Tracy Village, and I think they'll probably win out there.
And the later game here tonight at 7 o'clock, Pint versus Southern Districts. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, look, you're right. Pint started with a blaze of glory. The wheels have fallen off a little bit. Districts, very, very even spread of players. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Districts,
yeah, I think so too as well. So a couple of good games. We'll keep an eye on the Wanderers and Tiwi Bombers game for you while we're here as well. But expecting a bit of a crowd out there. There's a game on Oval 2 as well, but the car park's pretty full, and so we have a big night here lined up for some footy. And the conditions are favouring the game of football. Fairly strong breeze blowing to the airport end here at Marara Oval. Usually the sea breeze is in by this. It's about 4:30, so about starting time. So the sea breeze will be in, just about ready to set up to go. It looks like Chris Atkinson will take the ruck duties initially for Darwin Buffaloes, and the Tigers, they're still in a huddle. Still in the huddle. They came back in. He got it back there just for a moment. With the weather, though, I did have a look at the weather map as well and looked at the clouds. There's a bit of cloud around, as you can see, but none of it seemed to be heading in this direction. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get away with a full game today and the weather doesn't get involved. I think the last time I was here at TIO, was the one that we had to wait for the last 5 minutes of the game to be played because we had the lightning strike, and in the end that got called off on a really rough night. So hope, fingers crossed, that the weather stays away for this game and of course for the 7 o'clock game, Pint versus Southern Districts. What else are you expecting out of tonight, Ian?
Look, I'm again interested in the performance of Harry Butler. Not a giant ruckman for Nightcliff, a bit like that Tristan Wack from Palmerston. Probably 190 centimetres, plays mainly as a wingman midfielder, and I see that Butler is in ruck, and he's in ruck against Chris Atkinson. So it'll be Butler v Atkinson in the ruck duties, with the Tigers kicking to the Michael Long Learning Centre end.
So Mark Noon is our field umpires, John Bayman and Callum Looney is out there on boundary. Tobias Jenner, Tim Greener, Craig Laird, and in goals Keith Pratt and Jenny Rowe. So game is underway.
And Butler it was that won the toss, but it was Darwin got the clearance. They're in the forward line. Defence needed. No Ryan Nyhouse, as we mentioned from the outset, dragged over the boundary line, and we'll have a ball in or throw in. Boundary umpire in the play, 60 metres around at grandstand side, right half forward. Darwin Buffaloes in attack. Tossed in again. Atkinson against Butler. Butler pushed under the football. Jared Stokes gets it out to Nicky. Nicky Plays around. Liam Holt fits onto the non-preferred left, or is it his preferred left? No one knows. Holt fits, kicks on goal. Probably rushed in the end, I reckon. But Buffaloes are on the board, one behind. Tigers yet to score.
You can see by that kick straight away, the breeze is pretty strong going down toward the end. It certainly took a bit of movement on the breeze.
It certainly did carry, didn't it? Nightcliff to bring the ball back in. Nice kick. Picked up Jackson. Jackson left half back for the Tigers, grandstand side, kicks forward, jumping in to effect a mark there. Nice mark there was Hassan Ahmad Watkins. Kicks the ball back in quickly, but a nice mark taken back deep in defence by Jackson once again. Tigers outside defensive 50, looking in the bowl's direction, can't take the mark, off the pack. High tackle. No, it's not.
I think you got him in the back as he went through there.
Yes, you're right. Hassan Ahmad Watkins. So it's Ahmad Watkins. Too far out to score. Between wing and half forward right. Goes for the long one inside. Looking for the high mark, but the high mark is all Nightcliff. And a lovely mark there taken by Bailey Henderson for Nightcliff.
A couple of good defensive plays there from the Tigers back line then.
Henderson it has been too, and you're quite right.
Picked him out well.
So Buffalo's still in attack. Strong breeze, isn't it? Probably worth a goal or two.
Yeah, we think so. I watched a bit of the women's game just before, and the breeze certainly was blowing to the airport end.
So it's Mitch Robinson, former Carlton, former Brisbane Lion. Directly in front. Will have to kick, I reckon, from 50, Nick. Robinson to kick with the breeze behind him. Robinson just about gets to 50. The kick is no problem whatsoever. Thank you very much. First goal on the board goes to the Darwin Buffaloes, goes to Mitch Robinson. Buffaloes leading 1-1 to no score.
Pretty promising start there from the Buffs. They this breeze might be a bit stronger than we're looking. We'll keep an eye on it through this first quarter, but staying down at one end of the moment, and Tigers haven't really gone across the halfway line in this first couple of minutes of the game. So
and don't look like it, do they?
No, they don't. If they hadn't been for a couple of good defensive marks, they could be in a couple down. But
Butler in ruck, and he's up against Sterling Mitchell. So Mitchell's got the chop out from Atkinson straight away. Buffaloes again will get the clearance. No, they won't. Held up nicely. That's as far as they've advanced, Nightcliff. Under the football. I've heard the whistle. Away we go. Play on called the umpire. And it's Nightcliff well into attack. Bradley Stokes has the footy and has been a revelation down back. Not that he's not. His disposal is usually perfect, centimetre perfect. And Thomas Jock has the mark on the outer wing at Marara. Backward of the scoreboard. In defence, Darwin Buffaloes. It's Jock's first possession. Buffaloes have the footy. Played inside forward 50. No mark taken. Back they go. Nightcliff defence under pressure once again. They've been under pressure right from the start of play. And that man down there has been fantastic for Nightcliff, and that's we'll pick him up in a minute. That's Bailey Henderson, who's been really strong, and they'll miss Ryan Nyhouse, and the ball's out of bounds on the full. And Nightcliff to bring the ball back into play. And
Sean Wilson just then a few moments ago went off with as soon as he went to mark the ball from a kick out, it hit him on the end of the top of the finger, and he went straight out and off the race. So he's pushed one out there. He's probably getting a pull back.
I don't even want to think about it, Nick.
But he's so hopefully we'll see him back on. But he did come straight off the ground as soon as the ball hit him.
Henderson once again brings the ball back into play. Outside defensive 50, grandstand side. Up they go. No mark taken. It might be Nightcliff there with the footy, and that's Lachlan Huppets. Takes the free kick, probably a high tackle in there from Mitch Robinson. Huppets has a player short, picks him up nicely. Politis will run his full measure. Grandstand side, kicks inside forward, not inside forward 50, but at least in their half of the ground. Nightcliff one way, then the other, out to Philo. Philo goes back onto the left foot. Bradley Stokes done nicely. And Stokes once again, impeccable disposal. His teammate let him down. Working hard again. There's Stokes once again. Puts his body in behind the football. Picked up Nightcliff. Kicks forward. And that's Phoenix Joe Poole kicked the ball forward. But Nightcliff will be held up. And Aaron Stokes has the footy. Plays across goal. Darwin will have the clearance. Onto the left foot. Grandstand side. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. Oh, and he did it beautifully. Jock. And gave away the free kick, unfortunately. Probably, certainly too far out to score. Better kicking at 2.5 kicks. But it'll go inside. Nightcliff now have the run of play. Keep the ball low into the breeze, which is probably the way to go, Nick.
Yep.
And mark taken? No mark taken. Picked up there by Coulthard. Coulthard goes back, and the prolific Bailey Henderson has the mark for Nightcliff. He picks out a teammate, and they go forward. Nightcliff this time well inside forward 50. Up they go, and in front, play on, called the umpire. Must have been touched by the man behind. Was he taken high? No, he got rid of the ball incorrectly, and Mitch Robinson has it at centre half back for the Buffaloes. Robinson stabs the ball forward in the middle of the ground. Pushed off too easily that time. And Mummery...
illegally pushed off the ball.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Certainly outside 5 metres, inside the forward. They'll switch play. Cross half forward. Nightcliff. Chip over the top. Runs his full measure. Bangs the ball forward into the teeth of the breeze. Over the back, can't take the mark. Picked up by the little man there in Phoenix Joe Poole. And Nightcliff are on the board at least, one behind, trailing Darwin Buffaloes 1-1-7, 6.5 coming up 7 minutes into the first term.
Yeah, but Buffs are doing very, very well, certainly in defence. They've kept Nightcliff obviously without a goal yet, and they're looking very good, the Buffs are.
Bradley Stokes just taking everything down back. Ball brought back in. Robinson got it. Gets it out to a teammate, Jackson Clark. Clark at right half back. Still inside defensive 50. Clark, nice kick off the boot. Favours the grandstand side. Flyers wanted. No one can take the mark. Ball on the ground. Lovely out by hand. Nightcliff, another hand. Out they go. Series of handballs.
Ooh.
Phoenix Joe.
He's made up there.
He did. He got flattened there. He was steamrolled, but he gets up and he gets into it again, and might attract a free kick here unless the field umpire says no. It was locked in.
Yeah, Paul definitely. His teammate set him up, but he didn't stop. He kept going right the way through there. So well done, young guy.
Yeah, it was indeed. Ball in dispute. Poole once again been prominent. Poole's been prominent. Nightcliff doing well in the forward line. Out they go. Is that inside? And the handball's a bit tough there. Picked up and running through into an open goal, and a lovely goal there, Nightcliff, and that was Bailey Edwards, and that was a terrific goal, and Nightcliff are on the board. Scores are level after 8 minutes of
Absolutely.
play.
Bailey Edwards, that handball actually collected was his own handball when you have a look at the replay. He's missed his player completely. I mean, he's come through and picked it up himself and kept going, and ended up running around. There he goes. Bang.
And our finger man Sean Wilson is out there and has had a couple of possessions, so his finger's been put back into place, and he's all right.
Clicked it back in, he's right now. So 7 points each here at TIO this afternoon for the Men's Premier League action. We're having a big afternoon here lined up. A footy, and of course a big one straight off this one as well with Pint and Southern Districts.
Atkinson in ruck against Butler. 1 tap, 2 taps. Nightcliff playing the ball hard now. Out they go. Ryan Moo, nicely by hand. Gets it out to the goal kicker. Kicks the ball forward. That might have been Daniel Jackson. Ryan Moo onto the non-preferred left. Bradley Stokes has run into trouble there. His teammate gets him out of strife a little bit. That's Coulthard. But the ball is out of bounds. Grandstand side on the wing. 7 points apiece, coming up 10 minutes into the quarter. He's a rangy fella, that Jock, isn't he? For the Darwin Buffaloes. Nightcliff go forward again. Nice kick forward. Daniel Jackson's had a fair bit of it.
The goal the Tigers got was very scrappy, but they recovered and scored, but they're just not looking set up very well in forward line at the moment. It just seems to be rushed, everything they're doing. I think they just take a settle back, and they should be a lot better up forward.
Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire. Philo kicks into Jock. Ball falls free. Darwin up and under kick. Poor kick out of defence. Anyone's ball, and it's the boundary line that wins the race, right in front of the centre of the grandstand. 7 points apiece, 10.5 minutes into the first term. Jock comes off for a rest. Mitch Robinson will join the field of play. Will be tossed in by the boundary umpire. Butler wins the ball down comfortably. Jared Stokes gets it. Handballs to an opponent. Robinson turns around onto his non-preferred left and kicks with the non-preferred left. Nice to see a player on the non-preferred side to kick with a bit of precision, which is what Robinson did then. The ball is locked up in the Buffaloes half-forward line, right? And the field umpire probably says, "Give it to me, gentlemen." No, it's a free kick. And it goes to the finger man. Nightcliff to clear. They'll kick down the line, grandstand side, up to the wing. Butler down on the ground, can't find the handle. Ball in dispute, out it comes. Kick. Good work by hand. There's Robinson once again. Actually, Robinson head-butted the bloke then, and he's going to get paid well, he did, a high free kick, which is probably not the way we should go here. Ball up, ball in dispute. Brown, one way, then the other. Spots a teammate, and a nice defensive mark taken by Politis. Had a couple of kicks down back, lays off by hand, all dressed up, nowhere to go. Now stabs the ball to centre half forward. Centre half back it was, and it was Butler. Off to Philo. Philo onto the left. Kicks up in the Mummery direction. Mummery steadies, goes forward. Now the Buffalo defence under a bit of pressure here. Poole, who's been prominent early but loses possession, goes forward, and Buffaloes have the mark between centre and centre half forward. Nice low mark taken by Antonio James. Too far out to score. James kicks in hope. What's he got down there? Over the back, no mark taken. Almost a high tackle. Nightcliff defence, again working overtime. Here they go, they get the clearance. Bailey Henderson, who's been terrific early. Left foot up, inside. Picks up Daniel Jackson, who's also been good. Haven't seen much of Cameron Isle. Is he on the ground?
Haven't seen much of him either, but this is where Tigers have been falling down in this first quarter. It's just that kick there. Just getting themselves back into trouble, not controlling the football.
Poole on the ground, Coulthard working hard. Ball comes out, Buffaloes have it. Jackson Clark. Clever kick. Goes forward. Picks up Patrick Bowles. Bowles lays it off to a teammate. Now it's in space, centre half forward for the Darwin Buffaloes. Nicky gets the ball out. Goes to Collinson. Collinson grubbers the ball forward. Big chance here. One handball, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. Well done, Mitch Robinson. He kept the forward pressure on, and the ball is out of bounds adjacent to the behind post, the right hand behind post, airport end at Darwin, at Marara Stadium. 7 points apiece, 1-1 each.
Big opportunity here for the Buffs.
Look, it is. Ball tossed in by the boundary umpire. Butler gets to it. Robinson nose over the footy, has a couple to beat. Jared Stokes somehow gets the ball out. He's a clever player at ground level. Kicks the ball up. Won't be 15. Player will call the umpire. He did call it. Coco Nicky. Clever enough to get the ball out by hand to a teammate. Kicks the ball forward. Too high? No, not too high. Goodness gracious me. Gadget arms.
Another half a centimetre, he was in trouble there, but he's took it. He's lucky he's on his own, because there's no way he would have got if he had a player on him.
Sterling Mitchell it is, who was giving Chris Atkinson a chop out in the ruck. He has the football. Man on the mark, probably 35 metres from goal. Right forward pocket. Angle. He's a right footer. Kicks across the face of goal, right across the face of goal. But the Buffaloes are in front. They are 1-8, leading Nightcliff 1-7, coming up 15 minutes into the first quarter.
Yeah, he pushed it out to the left and it stayed there and didn't come back with on the breeze. That's a terrible kick out there.
That doesn't require commentary. That was a shocker.
Yeah.
Ball out of bounds, but at least it's in the right end of the ground for Darwin Buffaloes. They have the breeze. We reckon 1 or 2 goals. It looks like it's eased off a little bit.
Yep.
Going to the airport end in the first term, Darwin Buffaloes. Right half forward, over the back that time by Mitchell. Has been a good play. Jared Stokes dragged off the footy. Picked up Nicky. He's lost the footy. Can't find the handle. Kicked off the ground. Might have been kicking in danger. Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Got it right. You should have the green shirt on, Nick.
The umpire was right on it. I think they had a quick look and then realised what had happened, and yeah, always going to get pinged for that.
Philo it is. Usually uses the ball well. What's he got on offer? Not much, so I think he kicks a bit in hope. Kicks it down the line. Ball on the ground. Flip the ball out. Nice work by Nightcliff. And a great defensive tackle there by Xavier Grant. And the ball is out of bounds. At the interchange area, grandstand side. 1-8 Darwin Buffaloes, Nightcliff 1-7, coming up 16 minutes into the first term.
Well, look at Mitch Robinson, the way he's wearing his shirt. He's starting to feel the top end heat of the bit today.
Yeah.
He's got half off.
Philo ducks around a couple, kicks the ball forward, and a nice mark. And really an uncontested mark that time, taken by the big Nightcliff player in Robinson. Robinson goes forward, and a nice, well-weighted kick. And the Tigers will look to go ahead in this game. This might be Daniel Jackson.
Daniel Jackson it is, lining it up.
Has been prominent. Jackson, right of centre. Man on the mark, 25 metres from goal. So we'll kick from 30. Jackson walks in very, very positively, kicks and kicks beautifully.
Straight over the umpire.
It was directly over the umpire's cap, and it's another goal to the Tigers. Jackson has one, Edwards has one, the goal kicker, Mitch Robinson for Darwin Buffaloes. But importantly, it is Nightcliff 2-13, Darwin Buffaloes 1-8, and we are 17 minutes into the first term.
That's the first time in the match in this first quarter that Nightcliff will look good going forward. They've been falling down just over the halfway line all day. They've come out of defence well with just that one kick. That time there, they settled down. They got it across the top of the 50 onto the left-hand side here, and then managed to switch it across the right. And Daniel Jackson slotted through a beautiful goal there for the Tigers. If they can keep that up, they're going to look a lot better than they have earlier in this first quarter.
So we've got Butler. It might be Sterling, who is his direct opponent. It is. Up they go. Dead heat in the middle. Robinson gets the secondary tap. Picked up that time by Nightcliff. And they're a bit casual running out of defence there. They go by hand, one way, then the other, under pressure. Series of handballs. They're getting further and further in defence, but there's the defensive kick outside, but it was to 2-on-1, and Robinson once again, he's going to get leather poisoning, isn't he?
Yes.
Mitch Robinson, he's had a fair bit of it early. The ball goes in from Robinson's boot. On the ground, working overtime. Brown has a player wide. And was it out of bounds on the full? No, according to the boundary umpire, that is a mark. And James Gow takes it. Left half back, inside defensive 50, has a player short. Luke Wines, who was so good last week in defence. It was the goal kickers that missed out last week. They kicked 3-7 in the final term, Nightcliff, and went down to St Mary's. Strong mark taken in the pack, Hayden Brown. Had some raps on Hayden Brown. It was a good mark.
Yeah, Mitch Robinson had a few words to say to the umpire there. The umpire's just told him to calm down a little bit. So
I've got a sore foot, he said. I've got a sore foot. Not my fault, Mitch.
I think he's feeling the Darwin heat. I really do.
Darwin had the footy. Patrick Bowles. Man in front. Can't take the mark. Over the back. Brown, he's been terrific in defence for the Tigers. Former captain. I think he captained the first of their 3 premierships.
Yep.
Been a long time. Great player down back for Nightcliff. Darwin Buffaloes over the footy. Second effort was good, Jackson Clark. Kick not all that flash. But Darwin Buffaloes inside forward 50. former Nightcliff player down there, Liam Holt Fitz. And the ball is out of bounds. Fitz will be keen to play well. And the ball's out of bounds on the full from Nightcliff defensive kick. Collinson, the left footer, inside forward 50. Up they fly. Ball on the ground. Tough defence of Nightcliff. They're no nonsense, aren't they, in defence down there? They've just been terrific. And that time it's Luke Wines, who was also a good player last week.
Yeah, they're playing very well in defence, Nightcliff. Just as I said, this ball, they've just got to get over the halfway line and settle down up forward. The Buffs are certainly putting the pressure on them in their forward line. Nightcliff haven't got a target forward. They've got no big fella down there to take a grab. Deary, still inside defensive 50. Kicks grandstand side. Just inside defensive 50. Nathan Brown once again. This will be a good kick. It is a good kick. At least they're outside. They're out the right.
They're outside defensive 50. Jay Moody has it. Goes one way. Tries to be smart.
Not for long. They're back.
They're back inside once again. And Nightcliff Simon Deary goes forward. Philo, the mighty number 23. Philo finds a teammate, Butler. Butler, scoreboard side. Nice long kick, raking kick over the back. Ball in dispute, lovely, got it out beautifully by hand. And a quick attempt, which missed to the far side. But Nightcliff, at least it's at the right end for them. And kicking into a breeze.
That's starting to pick up again as well, so be handy for the Tigers in the second quarter.
Going up to quarter time, Cassidy gets it out to Robinson. At least we know Mitch Robinson, don't we? He's got plenty of the footy. Buffaloes kick poorly. And Nightcliff take the mark through Moody, who's been okay. Get it out to Philo. Philo onto the left. Kick probably not the best, and the mark couldn't be taken by Gow, who's been quite prominent. And you're right about Mitch Robinson. He's wearing the Darwin jersey, isn't he? Rolled up.
Yep, it looks like he's on the training ground.
And yet the conditions are ideal, aren't they, for what we're normally used to playing under. Butler gets the ball down. Jock one way, then the other. Goes by hand to the voice. Buffaloes look like they want to clear. Robinson pushed under the football, had a bit of a whinge to the field umpire. Wants a free kick for everything. Collinson swings it onto the left foot inside their forward line, but over the back, Darwin Buffaloes. He backs. Yeah, he did, and the siren goes. And a good quarter, particularly from Jay Moody, who's been prominent. Mitch Robinson's also been prominent, but it is quarter time. Nightcliff 2-2, Darwin Buffaloes 1-2.
Yeah, we're here for round 8 action of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League competition. The Tigers taking on the Buffaloes. A good first quarter there, a bit scrappy at the forward line for the Tigers, but showed a bit of signs earlier on later on that first quarter.
They did indeed. They got some system going, didn't they? Whereas Buffaloes had the system early and had all the attacking options early, particularly kicking with a breeze to their backsides. Now it'll be Nightcliff's turn in the second quarter.
We'll be back.
Goes for home and has nailed an absolute Prince-Daughter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back here to TIO Stadium for the Men's Premier League competition. Nightcliff taking on Darwin Buffaloes. Ian, good first quarter?
Look, it certainly was, and an even first quarter. Darwin probably had the advantage in terms of the breeze, but Nightcliff are leading 2-2-14 to 1-2-8. What would be Damien Zammit, the first game coach for Darwin Buffaloes? What would his message have been?
They need to sort that ball out just over halfway line as they go into their forward line and settle down. They did it a couple of times, scored a couple of goals, and that's what they need to do for the rest of the game. The back line you'd be very, very impressed with is just that structure in that centre of the ground is letting them down.
Buffaloes immediately into attack as they were in that first term, kicking into the teeth of the breeze. Ball out of bounds right half forward. Darwin Buffaloes kicking to the Michael Long, learning centre end. Nightcliff are defending that, of course, and going to the airport end themselves with the aid of a breeze, leading by the solitary goal, 2-2 to 1-2. Tossed in by the boundary umpire, 50 metres around from the Buffalo goal. Mitch Robinson's got his jumper rolled down, so he's had the cooling towel at the quarter-time break. Ball over the top. Stokes, that's Jared, busy. Bradley's been terrific down back, so the Stokes brothers have been okay, but a series of handballs. Nightcliff gets the ball out, leading forward. Wilson has it inside defensive 50, goes across the face of goal in the Polides direction, will run his full measure, goes by hand, lovely handball, sweeping handball into the middle of the ground. Off they go forward, over the top. Defensive Buffaloes, they can't find the handle no matter what they do, and a couple of Nightcliff players here kick on goal right from the start and missed to the easy early side. Probably had a couple of options there, and that wasn't the best of efforts by Bailey Edwards. Tried to take them on Bradley Stokes. Pinpoint accuracy is the name of the game with his kicks, and look at that. He's mucked it up.
Yep.
He has absolutely mucked it up, and the ball is out of bounds 10 metres around from their goal at right full forward. Buffaloes in plenty of trouble.
At least he got a touch onto it. Of course, it stopped at having a free kick for Nightcliff, but yes, he'd like that one back.
Indeed he would. It's Buffaloes now will have the chance to clear defensively, and Bradley Stokes will breathe a sigh of relief, but it might come back. Butler goes by hand, the look-away handball, kick inside forward 50, and it was a nice kick inside forward 50. Almost went to play on there, and that was that player there to bring the ball back in was Bailey Edwards, who's been prominent. And the kick on goal, directly in front, man on the mark, 20 metres from goal, no problem, he could throw this over. Interesting, Coco Nicky playing against his old team, well, Buffaloes it was his old team, then he went to Nightcliff, played in a premiership and back with Darwin Buffaloes, as is Liam Holt Fitz. Nightcliff, kick on goal, and it's just a dominant kick, and a lovely kick by Jack Hammond, and Nightcliff is on the board. They've got the opener, they've got the breeze, they've got the opener, which is just what the doctor ordered.
Absolutely, they did look a lot more structured there for that one. They got a bit of luck from the poor kick out, but they were a lot more structured in forward line and a lot more dangerous, of course, when they do that. 3 goal kickers today they've got now with Hammond, Jackson and Edwards, and Mitch Robinson, the only goal scorer for the Buffs, as it's 15-8 at the moment, just started the second quarter.
Buffalo's getting plenty of the footy. Jared Stokes in the midfield, Mitch Robinson in the midfield, probably winning the midfield battles, but that's not the scoreboard. That's not where the games are won and lost. The scoreboard determines the winners and the losers. Up they go. Butler over the top. Jared Stokes, the man we mentioned, in the midfield. They'll get the clearance. Kicks it wide. Coco Nicky, former Nightcliff, a premiership player at the Tigers. Buffalo before that, back with his home club. Buffaloes go forward gently. Hayden Brown, and the ball is out of bounds. Just ugly movement forward.
Yep, that was.
Sorry, Cameron Stokes, if you're listening and watching this, wasn't pretty. Boundary umpire watching around, don't know why. Just toss the ball in, mate. He does it and does it nicely. Up they go, over the back. Butler gets it to his teammate. Nightcliff will clear. Taken high. No whistle. Didn't hear the whistle then. And or perhaps there was a late whistle by one of. I reckon it was a late whistle by one of the other umpires.
Yeah, I think so too. The central umpire there to let the call play on, but then one of the other ones stepped in over the top, had a better view of it.
Hayden Brown it was. Goes forward. Pushed out of the contest. Good free kick by the umpire, Patrick Bowles, been okay. Goes to Stokes, that's Jared Stokes, nice kick Long kick forward. Kicking pretty much in hope. Mitch Robinson down there. Gets the ball out. Kick on goal. Holt Fitz. And he's even the ledger in the term. Liam Holt Fitz gets his first against his old club. And Darwin Buffaloes, they creep 6 points closer. 2-2-14 Buffaloes, trailing Nightcliff 3-3-21. Jared Stokes got his hand on the ball again.
A nice pick up here and good handball.
One of the few local players that can kick with either foot. I don't know whether he's a right footer. I think he's a right footer, but he kicks equally well with his left foot, Liam Holt Fitz, and that's what makes him so dangerous. You can't pin him down. So it'll be Sterling Mitchell to the right of screen, number 2 for Darwin Buffaloes in the all blue, up against his opponent, and his opponent, of course, Harry Butler. Butler wins the ball down, hasn't cleared the bullseyes yet. In the middle, Ryan Moo, fumble, ball down, Sterling has the footy, dispossessed, got to get rid of it. He had prior opportunity, and Butler gets the ball out by hand. They're away. That was Bailey Henderson. Nightcliff on the charge. They go inside forward 50. Can't take the mark down there. It makes it easy for the defence. A series of handballs. They'll get the ball out. Favour the grandstand side. Over the back, and a nice mark, a strong mark, competent mark, taken by Wines. Wines goes to right half forward. A lovely kick, and his teammate down there didn't let him down at all, and that was Tom North. North kicks on goal, let him down a bit there.
Certainly did. And
misses to the near side. So a minor score, 3-4.
Already seen a couple of times that this ball's carrying just a little bit further to the airport end, and a few players they're going underneath it on the mark. I think it's just the breeze is catching them out just a little bit.
Well, I put the pressure on again. Bradley Stokes, usually impeccable. He was that time. Got it in nicely. Still inside defensive 50. Couple of kicks. Go by hand. Scoreboard side. Lovely kick. And a nice strong mark taken. Darwin Buffaloes trailing by 8 points. Bowles gets the ball out by a looping handball. Spearing kick in. Jock takes the mark. Too far out to score. Kicks inside forward 50. No marking contest down there except Liam Holt Fitz, who was in the goal square. Well, he straightened him up. Not sure whether he took it inside or outside the goal square. Inside the goal square, according to the field umpire. So he'll straighten him up. Liam Holt Fitz got one a minute ago. And I reckon he'll get another one and get Buffaloes within 2 points.
That was the best passage of play of the day so far. They played very well, Buffs did. Took their time coming out of defence, and then when they saw the opening, they went for it, and they're going to get rewarded here, you'd hope. Yes, they are.
Holt Fitz kicks the goal. That's 2 for him. He has 2. Mitch Robinson has 1. 3 goal kickers also for the Nightcliff Tigers. Jack Hammond, Daniel Jackson and Bailey Edwards. But it is the Tigers by 2 points.
Yeah, Damien Zammit was very happy with that passage of play there. They certainly, as I said, took their time coming out of defence. Once they got an opening, it was 3 quick kicks, and Holtz Fitz over the back, and very good goal from the Buffs.
Jock in the midfield, Atkinson in ruck against Butler. It might not be Butler in there. We'll pick him up. No, it wasn't Butler. It was Aidan Robinson. So he's the chop out in the ruck for Nightcliff. Not that Butler needs too many because he usually rucks all day. Down back, Bailey Henderson, been strong, been solid. Philo, been strong, been solid. Gets the ball out to a teammate. Bailey Edwards, been strong, been solid. So they've had a few good players, the Tigers. They go forward. Can't take the mark. Mummery sells the dummy, sells it again, does it nicely. Can he kick to goal? Third dummy, goes by hand inside. His teammate wasn't ready for it. He thought he was going to have a shot for goal then. And Buffaloes will clear, and clear beautifully. Robinson, who hasn't had one, until he gets the free kick. It's his first possession, and we're nearly 10 minutes into the second term, but he had enough in the first to have a few in the bank, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a fair bit of running up and down the ground as well, so but it's nice to see him get a few more possessions.
It might be nice to see him roll his jumper up. Then we know he's been working hard. Robinson, left half back, grandstand side, defending the airport end goal, Darwin Buffaloes. The boys in blue. Kicks it forward. Nice kick off the boot. Nightcliff defence. Series of handballs. Taken to the ground there unceremoniously, and that was Antonio James. Be tossed up by the field umpire. Aidan Robinson in ruck. Jock has it, and was he taken out of bounds? He was taken out of bounds. And was the ball was out of bounds? Oh no, he's
holding the ball.
My goodness, that's 50.
And 50, yep.
Don't have to make a... Something...
Strange decision there.
Yeah,
he didn't call it for 50, but he's pushed him back.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. We'll find that out a little bit later on. Anyway, Daniel Jackson will go inside. Picks up Philo. Will he go on the left? He will go on the left. Philo goes forward. And the mark taken nicely down back. Matthew Cassidy, Robinson squares the ball across the field of play. Dangerous kick, but good enough was Coulthard. Coulthard goes forward, looks for a teammate. Nick Favretto kicks the ball, and the ball will be out of bounds. Adjacent to the scoreboard, which reads 3-4 Nightcliff to Darwin Buffaloes 3-2, so that means a 2-point lead, I reckon, if I do my sums correctly.
Did well, Ian. There certainly is a 2-point lead at the moment to the Tigers.
Toss the ball in, and it'll be Robinson up against Atkinson. Robinson probably got the better of that ball on the ground. No one can pick it up, except the Buffaloes now have their head over the football. A tall player against a shorter player. Coco Nicky. But at least he forced the contest, which is what he's got to do. Buffalo's Nicky once again goes by hand, turns the ball over, and probably Nightcliff's best player out there is Daniel Jackson. And the ball is in dispute, and we'll have the ball up by the field umpire, and it is about 20 metres out from the Darwin Buffalo goal. So it's the right end for the double blues. Atkinson up against Robinson. Atkinson tries to kick it over his head. Not 15, said the field umpire. Play on. Robinson kicks the ball, chips it off. Not 15. Outside defensive 50. Can't take the mark. Tigers are away. It was Wilson.
Yeah, they were out there. They could have taken some more time around that big kick. There was about 3 Tigers players together there. They could have taken some time and moved that forward. A lot more constructive than that. But this is, again, where they've been falling down today. It's just that kick out of there from the halfway line into the 50.
So it's the Tigers by 2 points. Right half forward, airport end, which Nightcliff is attacking. In they go. Robinson nudged out by Atkinson. Picked up Jock. Nice clearing kick, defensive kick. Nightcliff really read that ball a little bit better. Back inside it goes. No one can take a mark. Ball on the ground. Ball in dispute. Taken high. No. Taken to the ground. He gets, I shouldn't laugh, but he gets up gingerly.
It was a tough tackle.
Jason Davenant was a tough tackle that made him wince a little bit. Ball in dispute, picked up Nightcliff. Over they go, running hard after the football, Jack Hammond, who has kicked a goal. Hammond sells the dummy one way, then the other. Go for goal, they tell him, and it hit the post. They told him the right thing, but he just didn't kick accurately. A minor score, 3-point lead to Darwin. Bradley Stokes to bring the ball back into play. Does it, and does it nicely. Gets it out wide. Goes to Matt Watkins. He goes forward, looking for a teammate out there, Cassidy. Been okay, Matthew Cassidy. Kicks to a teammate who was on the toboggan, Mix Robinson.
Made him work hard for that.
He did indeed. I wonder if someone's on Robinson or he's having a rest now. We just see him run through the interchange. But someone needed to pick him up, because I reckon he had nearly a dozen possessions in that first quarter.
Yes, I think he's run around by himself.
Over the back, picked up Nicky, been all right. Nicky goes forward, a lovely kick forward. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, Antonio James. James outside forward 50, goes back inside to Nicky. They must be brothers in arms. Nicky, what's he got on offer? He has got a teammate out there on offer, and that is Tanner Coulthard. Coulthard left of centre, not much really of an angle. Man on the mark 25 metres from goal, so he'll kick from 30. Distance will not be a problem, I would suggest.
Even with that pretty strong breeze straight into his face, he should. We've already seen a goal from exactly the spot today.
And it couldn't put the Buffaloes in front. They trail by 3 points. Tanner Coulthard. Been lively. Coulthard, stuttering run in, onto the left foot, suits the left footer right of centre, and he's nailed it, and the Buffaloes are in front. So 3-5-23, Darwin Buffaloes 4-2-26, 15-minute mark of the second term, Buffs in front.
Absolutely big quarter for the Buffs so far, 3 goals in a row, from 1 goal in the first quarter now up to 4 goals, and have looked very, very convincing going forward. Nightcliff, though, bit of a broken record, but they are definitely breaking down as they enter that 50 area. And I think you're right, just missing a big guy up front to take some marks will cause a bit of trouble up there for the Tigers, and it's starting to show.
Coco Nicky had a bit to say in that quarter, the former Nightcliff player, as I've suggested. He played in the first of their 3 premierships, moving across from Darwin Buffaloes, and he's back with his home club. Back in the middle, Robinson up against Atkinson. Ball on the ground, in dispute. He's a hard man to put down, Jared Stokes. Low centre of gravity, onto the left foot. Buffaloes inside forward 50, closing in on half time. Over the back, and it looks a kick on goal across the face of goal. Running hard, has got no one to beat out there, and that's Simon Deary. He was running like the wind, but he had no one to beat, because there was no one chasing him, and he goes back to Deary. Deary, one bounce that he mucks up. Scoreboard side, the back, big mark, over the back taken. Poole goes forward. Nightcliff. Darwin will clear it easy. Hayden Brown. I reckon he's been very, very good, Brown. Teammate lets him down there, but his second effort was pretty good. Thomas Clark, the vice-captain.
Nice mark.
Was a good mark. And there's that man, Holt Fitz. Has a couple this term. Former Nightcliff player, premiership player, 3-time premiership player. Has 50. Will kick another one, and it'll give the Buffaloes a pretty good lead as we approach time on in the second term.
This will be Liam Holtzford's 3rd goal of the quarter. We assume you'll get this from half a metre out.
You would think so.
You would think so. Although I have seen worse.
Let's not put the mockers on him. Liam Holt Fitz. Will he kick with his right? Will he kick with his left? We'll see what his preferred is. I reckon it's going to be his right. It is his right, and he bangs it through. He actually banged it through with a bit of contempt there, didn't he? Because it wasn't the drop punt just over the top. It was the big screwy right out of the ground.
Yep.
But the Buffaloes, they are now in front, leading by 9 points. And it's been the Buffaloes' quarter, particularly of late. Liam Holt-Fitz has 3 for the term, and Tanner Coulthard has 1, whilst the solitary goal scorer in the second term for Nightcliff has been Jack Hammond.
Let's hope someone's got keys to the Michael Long Centre, because they're going to need to get that ball back. They're going to need them, because, as you said, he didn't just drop it over the line. He certainly put it through with a bit of contempt. But he's had a big second quarter with 3 goals, and the Buffs are now in front, of course, by 9 points. Tigers
have got Butler back in ruck. They've got their number 1 man. He's up against... we've got a whistle. What's going on, Nick?
The goal umpires come out all the way to the top of the 50.
Well, the goal umpires have their own whistle in this day and age, and if there's not the 2 players in the goal square, it will be a... it's not the old 6-6 and 6 comes into play, and it should be a free kick. Or is he going to give him a warning?
First warning.
First warning. I would have thought, though, if it's a goal square infringement, it's a free kick. I can't see outside the box. So just a 6-6 and 6 infringement, and up we go again. So it was Butler. He won the toss. He won the tap. And he also might have won the free kick. Nightcliff have won the free kick. Philo, been busy. Goes on the right foot, goes forward, over the back. Should have taken that mark, missed it. That was Wilson. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Robinson down there in ruck. He's the chop-out ruckman. Big man, big brute of a man, Robinson. If he sits on you, you are squashed. You are a pancake. Robinson will take the tap. Gives Butler a rest. Butler will line up. He'll get the ball. Dragged off the footy.
He didn't have the ball there.
Yeah, a good free kick, wasn't it, by the field umpire? And that's what the third field umpire is there for.
And off he goes.
Accidentally tripped. He ran into the Darwin Buffalo player. It wasn't the Buffalo's fault.
Yep, he gave him time then to see if he could collect the ball, and when he got nowhere near it, he had no choice but to give him the free there.
So Michael Mummery it is. Can kick a goal. Fairly acute angle for the right footer. Left of centre. Worse than 45. But only got to traverse about 15 metres. Mummery loves a goal. He'll do something clever. Can he kick a goal? That would be really, really clever. And he is not so smart after all.
Missed it on the inside.
He did.
You're watching the AFL NT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Darwin. And currently, Buffaloes are leading the Tigers.
5-2 to 3-4. Robinson. Inside defensive 50. Bradley Stokes, nice. Robinson, not so nice. Poole kicks it off the ground. Robinson once again. Sees a player wide. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Hayden Brown, been terrific. Brown kicks it forward. Nice mark taken by Sterling Mitchell. Mitchell, the chop-out ruck for the Darwin Buffaloes. Goes by hand. Not sure that's the best option. Coulthard, the goal kicker, has it. Goes forward. Nicky. He sets the goals up. Been very good. Nicky goes forward and a nice mark taken. Darwin Buffaloes hit the ground running. That's Xavier Grant. And Grant, what does he do? Misses to the left-hand side. Really, really had a chance to sort of nail in the coffin, at least at half-time. Nightcliff, keep in touch. Trail by 9. Nice defensive kick, well outside for defensive 50. Ball on the ground, kicked off the ground, running hard after the football is Hayden Brown. Second effort, not all that good. Ball out of bounds under the scoreboard. And the scoreboard actually favours Darwin Buffaloes. It does, to the extent that they lead by 9 points as we're 22 minutes into the second term. Robinson for Nightcliff, in ruck. Who his opponent is. His opponent is Mitchell. Mismatch in size. Robinson works his way to the front, but Mitchell cleverly holds his ground, then gets it out by hand. Goes to Robinson, who's had about 4 or 5 possessions in the last couple of minutes, has been terrific. He's recovered from his first quarter onslaught, and the ball is out of bounds, left half forward. Darwin Buffaloes in attack. Nightcliff led by 6 points at quarter time. They now trail by 9.
It's been a great quarter for the Buffs. They've looked really strong going forward.
Sterling probably got a fingernail to it. Over the back. 4 against 1, and the 1 beats him. That was well played that time by Grant. Buffaloes, they have the ascendancy. Just inside forward 50. Yes, it is now. Wilson. Wasn't Wilson to get the ball out. That was Simon Deary playing strongly in defence. There's Deary once again. Kicks the ball out to a leading player. Out of bounds on the full. Not a very good kick.
I think he was forced into that by some fabulous defensive work in the forward line there by Antonio James.
So Ryan Moo couldn't make it. It wasn't Moo's fault. He did all the good work, Deary, and then mucked it up a little bit with a poor disposal. So we've got Antonio James. He's going to kick around the corner. The old around the corner kick. Nick kicks around the corner and misses to the near side. So, goodness gracious, there we go. Minor score.
A couple of opportunities there for the Buffs to, as you said, nail in the coffin for half time for the against the Tigers. They've looked pretty good though this quarter. There's another opportunity here from a bad kick in.
Terrible kick in. 10 points they lead by as we close in on Half time. Patrick Bowles. He's got a couple of ticks in a circle in my best player column. He's been all right at a bit of the footy. Has the chance to finish off a pretty good quarter. It's included 3 goals from the boot of Liam Holt-Fitz. No one on the mark there, and that was an absolute shocker.
It didn't even make the distance, but there's the half-time siren.
We've got to see whether that's a minor score or out of bounds. I think it must have been, I don't know.
Goal umpire's gone to collect the flags. No, it was a no score, so it's 10 points at the moment.
5-4 to 3-6.
3-6. 3 goal kickers for Tigers. Hammond, Daniel Jackson and Bailey Edwards. And we've got 3 goal kickers for the Buffs. Tanner Coulthard with 1. Mitch Robinson got 1 really early, and Liam Holt-Fitz 3 in that quarter. So as we go into half-time, the Darwin Buffaloes 5 goals for, 34 to the Nightcliff Tigers 3-6, 24.
Ball comes out the back, now comes out this time to Scott Carlin again. He goes inside 50, Magro the target, rolls around, breaks the tackle. Plenty of time on his left towards goal, and that one has gone through. So steals out Mitch Taylor. Didn't have to put some pressure on, paddles it back through. Hope gets a handball out, running onto it is Marcus White. Goes towards goal, and it's gone through. Well done to Marcus Whitey, sorry.
Racking up the stats tonight, Scotty Carlin. Looking for Magro. Magro with 2 bites takes the mark.
Lining up for a goal here. Good kick. He's happy with that. His second of the night. And Tars extend their lead, making the most of their opportunities down their end. A good crack at it, but couldn't take it. Running through now is Benoulis. Benoulis gets her hands out. Carroll running onto it, gets through 1. Almost taken high to Morris. Morris running through, kicks a goal, and 2 in a minute. And Tars just making something for themselves here. Morris got a hand, he copped a bump. Magro, he's kicked that inside forward. Now Hope, the target, to drop the ball. Big Brody Newman flew. They get it out the back, and running into an open goal will be Addy Don't. Just sneaks it through, but the Tars again extend their lead, and they're out to a 21-point lead. 6.
Then gets it back, then goes in short to Carlin. Carlin onto Kirtley Silver. Silver's directly in front, handles over the top to the big Kirby. Kirby takes 1 step, right foot, snap, and clears the goals, all clear.
From Wheatron, couldn't take the mark, but it's still alive. They get it out now to Sam Brody. Sam Brody to the hot spot. Darcy Hope sitting for it. At the back, socket through, and it has gone through.
Marcus Whitey.
Marcus Whitey kicks his second as well. And read it best. Underneath it takes a mark. No, he doesn't. It's play on in the hot spot. Whitey gets it out, rolls onto his right, and just drills it through, but a bit too much on it. In fact, he's kicked it. It's gone through. So the first blood of this second half goes to Waratah, coming out of defence from Wanderers. He's taken a few big strong marks in the back half and at half forward even to lock the ball in their forward line. That shot towards goal, it's gone through. What a cracker that was from the
That was
Tars.
Sammartino.
Intercept from Boyce. He spuns around, kicks it now to a lonesome player, and it's Tyson White again, is it? No, it's Shane Thorne. Just Thorne comes in and kicks their 3rd goal straight over the umpire's head. They move to 3 goals, 11.
Got Benoulis. There's no one in the goal square. Instead, he goes in short and finds Magro.
Beautiful kick there. He had crumbs.
As Magro comes in from 50, it's a big range bomb and will go all the way through.
His 4th of the night. Stokes, he's getting involved too. Hands it back to Robinson. Robinson from outside 50 goes towards goal, and it's gone through. Mitch Robinson with the first goal from outside 50 to start that one. He loves that, and it's another great celebration for Mitch Robinson. That's the AFL star power coming to play. Back in the middle. Mitchell, he gets the hands out to Robinson again. Another clearance. He's been brilliant with the clearances so far this year. That's almost a full forward. Whelan gets boot to ball. It's rolling towards goal, and it's gone through. Mitch Robinson again involved, and Luke Whelan gets the second goal as quick as you like. They've got 2 in a minute. Finds McMahon. McMahon marks it inside 50, but unsure if the distance will be with him. He goes, and that's a beautiful mark there to Neild. First in this one, 17 minutes into the first quarter. Kicks through, and he's like that straight off the boot. Ball goes forward for Buffs. Brew coming in hard, as too was Tom's shot. He's hurt. There's a snap towards goal. It's gone through. Great work there from Tom Clark, and centre half back, as we mentioned. Carter gets the hit down. Getting through, there's Bradley Stokes to the 50 on goal, and it's gone through. Just walk through them as easy as you like. And a bit of an unlikely goal scorer, Bradley Stokes. Ball forward. Stokes has done very well to tap it to himself. Evades the tackle inside 50 on goal. He kicks it. Doyle running back. Will he get a hand to it? It's just too high. And now it's Jared Stokes with a goal. So the Stokes boys with the last 2 for Darwin. Kicks it to the hot spot. Holt Fitz is roving on his left. He snaps towards goal over the top. And it's gone through. Great. What a ripper that one was. Getting in there as well as Lewis Walker. Ball is tunnelled through a few players. Stokes kept in front of him. Runs onto it. Rolls around. Snaps towards goal. That's going to spin through. It does. He's very happy with that. Gives a bit of an aeroplane celebration as well. So the Buffaloes extend it. It's kicks into the middle of the ground, couldn't find a target. Running onto it will be Neild. Outpaces Jackson Clark. Kicks it to the run of Trotter. Trotter is in a favourable position. Brown in a rock and a hard place here. Trotter just runs over, snaps and kicks a goal. They definitely needed that one. Smith got in each other's way. Bulk will have another crack. Snaps from the pocket to the hot spot. Goes over the top. Cooper will pick it up. Snap towards goal. And that's gone through.
Brilliantly done there. His first of the evening.
And plenty of time and space. He goes out to Clark. Clark has 2 to beat. He can't. Now McMahon, he goes inside 50. Kicks long towards goal. There's 2 on the line. Ooh. It's gone through though. Great work from Damien McMahon.
Mary's forward line. Mary's kicked the ball back inside forward 50. Cameron Isle, where he normally is, in front of the pack. Picked up, running goal, and a goal within the first 30 seconds of the game. And a nice goal to St Mary's there, and that was Sam Fowler. Forward to overall. Overall's had a bit of it early too. For Nightcliff, push and a shove, Butcher over the back, mark and goal. There we go, the scores are just about square up, but Nightcliff take the lead. Nicely by hand, still the scoreboard side, up to half forward. Now it'll be a race on the ball, over the top. Mummery this time slips in and puts the Tigers in front. The Tigers are in front, they go. Nightcliff are away, Parnell has been very good. Kicks it up and under, in hope more than anything else.
Exactly. Here's a goal.
That's him again. He's got this. He's got his second. Sam Power, and importantly, an important goal.
But it's St Mary's defence in action right now.
Mummery.
Lovely snap by Mummery, but I think he's...
Oh, no, he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. Mummery kicks the goal out of nowhere, really, almost. Rucks. Roves, ball on the ground, in dispute, out to Paredes. Paredes inside, shouldn't have gone inside. Paredes gets back to him, goes out by hand under pressure. Kick on goal, and there we go. Easy as you like.
There's the answer that St Mary's wanted, very quick.
Sniffs and works the ball forward. Yaron gets the ball out by hand to Hillier.
Oh, he missed a mark then.
Hillier up forward, picked up by Salmon. And that might be the nailer. That might be the one that puts the nail in the lid of the coffin. Protected area. And this is Polides. Will kick on goal. Needs to kick it. And does. Peter Polides has got the 6th one. But they need a few more, Gray. Nightcliff doing everything.
That's it, is it? No.
Last gasp. There it is. There it is.
There's hands on heads there at St Mary's. Big Ryan Smith there in despair. As John Butcher lines up for what should be, Ian, the winning...
There's the siren. It will be the winning goal if he kicks it. Goal. Vile. Kicks on goal.
He's hooked it.
And missed it.
Yep.
Welcome back to the AFL-NT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium here in Darwin on Larrakia country with the round 8 action of the Men's Premier League competition this afternoon. Nightcliff taking on the Darwin Buffs. My name's Nick Danks, my commentary partner this afternoon, Ian Butterworth. Ian, big first half footy and a great second quarter for the Buffs.
Yeah, it was almost a Liam Holt Fitz second quarter, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Kicked 3 goals against his former team. He's a triple premiership player in the NTFL, all with Nightcliff. He's transferred across the Darwin Buffaloes, and also prominent in that term, that second term, that the Buffaloes turned around a 6-point deficit at quarter time to a 10-point lead at half time was Coco Nicky. So a couple of former Nightcliff players were prominent. But the ball back in the middle, and it'll be Chris Atkinson up against the jumping jack, Harry Butler, for Nightcliff as we start the all-important third term. Back in the middle, up they go. Butler got his hand to the ball, but it'll be the clearance once again to the midfield. Nightcliff, Darwin Buffaloes. Mitch Robinson, who's got leather poisoning, kicks the ball off the ground, kicks it forward beautifully, and the defence of Nightcliff in front, on top, and has been very, very good down there, as he normally is. Luke Wines for the Nightcliff Tigers.
As usual, appealing them for an intentional out of bounds, or not keeping the ball in, but of course the umpire said he was under a bit of pressure.
He certainly was, wasn't he? Over the back, Atkinson, nice knock, picked up by Darwin. Collinson onto the left foot, the preferred leg for him. Tigers to clear. They favour the scoreboard side.
There's no one to kick to.
Well, that was the problem, wasn't it? He had to hold it up, and as he held it up, the Darwin Buffalo defence got back on top, and Tanner Coulthard might have been deemed to have been a little bit late getting rid of the football, which he was. They go forward. Polides, right half forward, too far out to score. No one to take the mark, and he was pushed out of the contest according to the field umpire, and it's one of the few possessions that we've seen Cameron Eilert, and he did it nicely, didn't he? Got it inside to a teammate. That might be Brad Philo.
Just 15 metres?
Yes, Brody Philo. And who's measuring?
12 and a half, if you're lucky.
I'll get out there later and step it out.
Just what the Tigers would need this one to get the third quarter going.
Get the juices going too, yeah. And Philo to kick on goal, and I reckon he might have hit the post. Yep. He did hit the post according to the goal umpire. Jennifer Winsome Rowe. Bradley Stokes. Don't let me down, Bradley. Make it precise. Looks for the option. Probably take it and run himself. Kick it outside defensive 50. Goes for the long bomb. Favours the grandstand side. Over the back. Can't take the mark. Ball on the ground. In dispute. Running through hard. Clever. Buffaloes. Robinson by hand. Chip kick in. Jock. Been useful without being prominent. Jock goes forward. Not a bad kick. Tiger defence need to mop up here. Nicky threw it out. Gets it out to Holt Fitz, the man of the second term. Jared Stokes, one way, then the other. Jared Stokes onto the right boot. Does it come back enough? It does not.
No, he certainly gave himself the opened up pretty well there with a couple of good dummies, but unfortunately couldn't bring it round enough to get it into a goal, so a point only there for the Buffs.
No vision. Ball comes back. Outside defensive 50. Buffaloes. Now they'll go back inside. Up and under. Nice kick into the top out ruckman. Sterling Mitchell. Probably too far out to score. Going to have to kick from 55. Got a bit of a breeze, although it really has eased off, hasn't it?
It certainly has eased off since about halfway through that first quarter, but it's still been blown towards the airport end, and
Mitchell kicks from 52. It's given it everything. He's given it everything except accuracy, and the ball is another minor score. So Buffaloes have had a couple of cracks at it. Deary kicks to his own advantage. Inside, outside defensive 50. Went out to the scoreboard side. Buffaloes threw it away again. They don't mind throwing the football. Darwin Buffaloes over the back. Good defensive move. That's good umpiring because he banged his head into his opponent at that time. It was no high tackle. Nightcliff go forward. In dispute. Eilert at a couple of possessions in this term. Coulthard, been okay. Clean bowls his teammate. Nightcliff back in control. Coulthard again.
It's that possession there that Nightcliff have been falling down all night. Just that one, just kicking into the 50. They're just not getting any clear possession there.
Well, kicking in hope. There's no John Butcher down there to take a grab. Stokes goes forward. Want a bit of pace here. Nicky has it. Goes back by hand. Back to Nicky. The old 1-2. Nicky sells the dummy. Does it. Swivels the hips. Goes nicely and goes beautifully to Liam Holt-Fitz. And the man of the second term has a chance. Now, it'll be interesting once again. I'd just like to see Liam Holt-Fitz. He is, I think, a preferred right footer, but he's to the right of centre. So will he kick with his left?
I think he's going to have to bring it back round here on the breeze.
But not many people do. They usually do the old banana kick or the slice kick. But I just let's have a look at Liam Holt-Fitz. Has 3. Buffaloes lead by 11 points. Holt-Fitz prefers the right foot. Kicks and kicks. Not quite makes the distance and defensively knocked through. Good defensive work by the Tigers. 12-point lead to the Tigers, to Buffaloes. 5-7-37 to 3-7-25. Cameron Stokes, I hope you're enjoying your day off. Damien Zammit doing a good job at this stage. Wilson sells the dummy, goes by hand. Philo, outside defensive 50. Picks up a deep teammate out there in Deary. Deary inside. Goes to Wilson. We saw him have the finger problem early, and Wilson's kick beautiful. Now that's 3 possessions early in this third term to a man that probably wouldn't have had 3 for the whole first half. And Cameron Islet directly in front, just slightly left of centre, but opens it up beautifully for the right footer.
Absolutely. With first quarter, we didn't even think he was out there. It's he certainly had a couple of early touches in this third quarter.
And I don't wish to be deriding to Islet either, because he's been a fantastic player over a long period of time and still is a fantastic player. Needs to kick this. Let's have a goal. Let's have a goal. And he misses. Goodness. I couldn't buy a goal. Even Bradley Stokes has mucked one up for me.
No, I think look back to kicking training again this week for the Tigers. They've 3 goals 8 already, 5-7 for the Buffs, but some of the shots they've had, the Tigers have certainly been gettable.
See, that was gettable. It was a bit like their performance last week against St Mary, 3-7 in the last term, and fell short by a couple of points. The Buffaloes, they're on the prowl. Buffaloes go forward, grandstand side, pushes the ball out, goes by hand. Out they go. Nice kick in. Unceremoniously whacked. Antonio James done a couple of good things.
He's played well.
Yep. James too far out to score. Right half forward, going to the airport end at Marara. Kicks it up nicely, and will be out of bounds. Adjacent at right full forward. Big chance for the Buffaloes here. And we've got Atkinson, or we've got Sterling. Atkinson it is, running down, and he'll be up against Butler. The 2 big guns, the 2 number 1s, or the number 1 ruckman, number 25 and number 16 for Darwin and Nightcliff respectively. Up they go, just nudged out was Butler, but finishes up with James, and James miraculously!
Lovely snap. I think he's just gone this side of the point.
Yeah, misses to the near side.
Yep.
So Ben Vile. Some people might call him Vile Ben, but I wouldn't be game to do that because he's a lump of a lad. Brody Philo. I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. Brody Philo kicks the ball in the Vile direction. He takes the mark, goes up the scoreboard side. Ball in dispute. Over the back, swings around. Buffalo Jock goes backwards. Does it nicely. Just a nice even spread of players, Buffaloes. Inside. Cassidy started the game off beautifully. Coulthard done some nice stuff. Got the man bun like our mate Cameron Islet.
They're just looking in control at the moment, the Buffs do. Tigers are just struggling across this half-forward line.
Yep, you're right. Pilates takes the mark. Goes nicely.
Yeah, paid him there.
Wilson advantage and the correct advantage. Well played, umpire. Ball goes inside forward 50, but no big Butler down there. Coulthard has the ball on a string. Coulthard once again, one way, then the other, on the non-preferred left. Coulthard clears, does he clear? It'll be a collision. Well done, and Darwin Buffaloes do it and do it easily. That time it was Hayden Brown who's been strong down back. Jock starting to lift his game, goes inside. Buffaloes by hand, not a terribly good handball. Mrs. Jackson Clark. Wasn't his fault. Give it to me, said the field umpire. Ball 55 metres out, directly in front. Darwin Buffaloes in attack. Buffaloes lead 38-26. 12-point lead to the Buffaloes. Have the breeze, as for slight as it is. Up they go. Butler. Get it out. Cleared Polides. Just tried to use the body, then the Darwin Buffalo player.
Down over the back here.
And Mummery. He's going to curl it around. He misses everything. Not sure whether he had options there or not. I was looking too hard.
No, he didn't have anything to kick to, so he'd taken the snap while he had a few seconds, but it just never came back for him.
Had to make the decision, and bad luck. Because Michael Mummery can do the almost undoable. Bradley Stokes goes for a stroll. No one would want it because no one does it better than Bradley Stokes. Goes to Robinson, inside defensive 50. Robinson switches. Grandstand side. Over the back. Nicky flicks it. I don't know how he got rid of that, but he did it and did it nicely. There's our mate again, Jones.
Yes. Late advantage.
Yep. And correct advantage, and it'll be out of bounds. Right half forward. Boundary umpire caught well behind then. I think that was the Coco Nicky flick.
Antonio Jones certainly a strong third quarter already. He's had a couple of opportunities and has looked good.
He has, hasn't he? Tossed in by the boundary umpire. A beauty. Sterling over the back. Up and under. No mark taken, Nicky. See how he gets rid of this one. Does he flick it or does he kick it? He kicks it and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Well done, Coco Nicky. It's out of bounds on the full. Normally he does it and does it well. Liam Holt-Fitz, a former teammate of these Nightcliff Tigers. Sterling Mitchell unceremoniously dragged an opponent out there.
Holt-Fitz has introduced himself to a couple of his old teammates.
He has, yeah. Have a look at the scoreboard, mate. He's probably saying, I don't know whether he's like that or not, but the ball kicked outside defensive 50 and a good mark taken. Here they go by hand. Philo, been okay. Usually kicks well, and that's no exception.
He's out here.
Yep.
Lovely pass.
Look, it was, wasn't it?
Yes,
and
good strong running.
He's been a bit quiet, Phoenix Joe Poole, but he's directly in front, and he can just about give Nightcliff a sniff here. They trail by 12 points. Should not miss this.
You would hope not. The breeze has died down completely now, so it's a perfect night for football. The lights are just starting to take effect, and you would hope he puts this straight over the goal umpire's hat.
Even Mitch Robinson hasn't got his jumper rolled up, so it is ideal conditions. Poole kicks, and the goal umpire comes back to the middle. That is a goal. Yep. That is the first and only one so far, as we've ticked into 13 and a half minutes of the third term. But Nightcliff get it, importantly for them.
So 4 goals, 8-32 to the Tigers. The Buffs leading by 6 points, 5 goals, 8-38. You're watching the AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Darwin on a beautiful night. And of course, we've got another game up here at 7 p.m. Pint versus Southern Districts straight after this one as well. Currently over at Tracy Village, Wanderers are leading the Tiwi Bombers by 13 points. As I said, here at the TIO Stadium, the Tigers are 6 points down the Buffs at the moment as we're into the third quarter.
And both been wasteful in front, Nick.
Yep.
Ball back in. Sterling Mitchell. Up against Robinson. Nightcliff get the clearance. Not sure what happened there. Perhaps he disposed incorrectly. Goes out to Jock. Been all right. Grandstand wing. Slightly favouring Buffaloes. Low spearing kick inside, in front. I heard a whistle.
Yeah, pushed him out.
Immediately playing. Well done to the umpire. He got onto that. And that is a goal. That is a wonderful, wonderful goal. That's Thomas Clark, the vice-captain. Darwin Buffaloes get that goal back. That's their first of the terms. So 1 goal each, but it is 4-8 Nightcliff, trailing Darwin Buffaloes 6-8, 44, halfway through the third term.
Yeah, he definitely pushed him out. Then it was a lovely pass in, a spearing pass. It was marked as well on the by the Buffs in the forward line, but they paid. Whistle had already gone. He balled it off very quickly. The umpire, as you said, did very well, let that play on, and a lovely goal there by Thomas Clark.
So Sterling Mitchell, I don't know whether he's Mitchell Sterling or Sterling Mitchell, but it is Sterling Mitchell. He's up against Robinson. Aidan Robinson. Robinson on your right, Nightcliff. Robinson the taller. Mitchell probably evened the ledger there. Mitchell rucked, Mitchell roved, got the ball out and was tackled, took him on.
Yes.
It'll be a Nightcliff free kick. James Gow goes forward. The good work there of his teammate. Held him up.
Nice slips catch.
Robinson it was, wasn't it? Back to Philo. Philo as adept on the left as he's on the right. Does it nicely. Left half forward. Too far out to score. It's Bailey Edwards. Big mark. Strong mark.
Strong mark, yeah.
Peter Politis. Now, very acute angle here. He is a right footer, so it suits the right footer. Will he run around? Will he try the round the corner kick? Or just the normal drop punt?
He looks like he's setting up for around the corner.
Does, doesn't he? Politis can reduce it back to 6 points. Does it, and does it beautifully. Well. Does it very, very well, Nick. Such an important goal. Nightcliff back within 6. 5-8 to 6-8. Buffaloes leading 44-38, coming up 17 minutes into the third term.
It's been a lot classier football in this third quarter. It was a bit scrappy in that first half by both sides, but this one's had some nice touches, and I think the players are getting used to the heat out there at the moment. Of course, it's just a lovely night for football. As the lights, as I said, just taking effect here at TIO Stadium. So a good third quarter so far.
So 2 goals to 1, and the goal scorers are Poole and Politis for Nightcliff, and the goal scorer for Buffaloes was Thomas Clark, a nice one halfway through the term. Robinson up against Atkinson. Dead eat, probably Robinson in the end, had the second touch. Atkinson charges after Robinson, but Robinson rucked, Robinson roves, kicks it forward, tumbles it, running hard after the football. Is that player out there in Butler, but can't find the handle on the footy. Coulthard's been terrific. Kicks the ball forward, and Buffalo's Nick Favretto has the mark. Been quiet, but been effective. Favretto kicks it forward. It was a good one. Was set up. Ryan Moo hasn't had much of it. Got a lift. Ball in dispute. Jock.
Had a good third quarter.
Yeah, we haven't minded his game.
Yep.
Jock kicks it forward. Coulthard goes out by hand to more in hope than in anything else, although it might fall forward. Picked off the ground. Holt fits beautifully. Well done. And the Darwin Buffaloes, that was just such a well-worked goal. And Antonio James gets his first for the game. And importantly, Buffaloes back to 12 points.
Nice touch there by Liam Holt-Fitz, who saw his ball, the guy running, very, very brave as well. Mitch Robinson in the centre there as well. But good goal for the Buffs.
Was indeed, as we see it again.
Big head.
Yeah, and Holt-Fitz, clever. Very, very deliberate. And I think Antonio James is just a player that has moved up and up and up and up and away, and he's been very, very good in this game. Has a goal to his name. Atkinson against Robinson. Atkinson on your left in the blue. Robinson gets it down. There's another Robinson. Everyone's a Robinson out there. Everyone's getting a kick. Buffaloes. Collinson gets the ball out. Holt Fitz. Can he get 4? Can he get 4?
Got it.
Can he get 4? He can get 4. He has 4. Buffaloes out to 18 points.
An outstanding game he has. As he said, he got 3 in that second quarter, and then he's now just got his 4th in the third quarter. Currently 5 goals 8 to the Tigers. Buffaloes 8 goals 8, 56. So a nice comfortable lead now for the Darwin Buffaloes as we get towards the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, just about to tick into time on it. It was a 10-point lead to Buffs at half-time, 6-point lead to Nightcliff at quarter-time. So Buffaloes turned it around in that second quarter on the back of Liam Holt-Fitz, 3 goals, and now he has number 4.
And an assist. A big assist there earlier on to Antonio James.
It was, wasn't it? Yep. Been terrific. Atkinson, Robinson. Don't know where Harry is. Where's big Harry Butler? We want him in the ruck. Up they go. Robinson got a fingernail to it. Ball down in dispute. Nightcliff, will they get the clearance? Taken high. Play on called the umpire. Advantage. Ryan Moo got a lift. Out to Wilson. Wilson back to Moo. Left half forward. Too far out to score. Moo well corralled. Has to go backwards. Goes backwards to Collinson. Collinson inside. Buffaloes now have time to settle. They go forward. A second grab. No mark. Yes, it was.
He paid it.
I reckon it was too. I reckon the umpires have got that right.
Absolutely, they did. He had control of the ball. He was the only one who wanted it. And
the only one who touched it. He knocked it up. And there's our man.
Yeah, he's had a big third quarter.
Antonio James has a goal. Buffaloes have the lead, 18 points. Well within distance, directly in front. Airport end, if there's any breeze, it's behind him. James kicks and a goal. Umpire just did not move.
Well, that's a big lead now for the Darwin Buffaloes. 9 goals 8-62 to 5-8-38. So a 4-goal lead, 24 points up at the moment, the Buffs, and looking very, very ominous here in the getting towards the later stages of the third quarter.
Even the second time he marked that clearly. He knocked it up. It was interesting because Nightcliff had the footy, but they mucked around. Buffaloes clear, precise, and away they went.
Yep, Buffaloes, Tigers are just missing, as that someone to kick to up forward line. That's why they're messing around in this the centre of the ground, just waiting for someone to come loose.
It's not happening, is it? Perhaps Harry Butler down there, they're looking for him because they've got Aidan Robinson in ruck. And Robinson, whilst he's winning the tap, running onto it was Philo, but Mitch Robinson. Robinson wins the tap, but Mitch Robinson normally gets the clearance. The Tigers this time go forward. No one there. Philo. Too far out to score, he reckons. Kicks in the direction that would have been Butcher, but is not Butcher. Up they go, and a courageous mark. That was courageous. Got to be paid. No, it's not. Play on called the umpire. Flicked it out. Buffaloes are away. Scoreboard side. Jared Stokes, I was going to say, has been quiet this quarter, but wraps him up. A rugby league tackle. Stokes' second effort, absolutely sensational. Goes inside precisely, and Darwin Buffaloes have the mark there through Favretto. Buffaloes forward. Ball in dispute. Coulthard.
Nice tackle.
Was good tackle.
And rewarded.
It took him on, and that was Nathan Brown. Brown goes inside. Got a lift. Brown goes out there to to Bailey Henderson. Forward. They're 3-on-1 here, but Nightcliff, they're just ferocious in defence. Liam Holt-Fitz down there defending at half back. Liam Holt-Fitz forces the ball down onto the ground, and Buffalo through Robinson clear. Liam Holt-Fitz is everywhere.
He said he threw that one out.
I finally got one because I reckon they're about 3. They're a bit slick. Moo goes to Philo. Probably thinks he's better with on the boot. Philo goes forward. Butcher not down there to take the mark, we keep saying. But Cameron...
Oh, it's hit the post.
Yeah, bad luck. Cameron Eilert did everything he could. Hits the post. Brings him back, but only the solitary point. Not enough. Drop mark. Here we go. Round the corner. And this time, misses again. They've got the yips, the Tigers, in front. They cannot kick a goal. They cannot buy a goal. Is short of change. 38 plays 62. Buffaloes 24 minutes in. Holds sway comfortably. Philo trying his hardest. Been terrific. Mummery gets around. Kick mucked up. Coulthard. Everything the Buffaloes touch turns to gold. Nightcliff struggling.
Head high.
High tackle and a warranted free kick. Goes forward. That was vile. Tigers go wide. Have a shot on goal, and what was the same result? That was Tom North. Hasn't had much of the footy. Tigers trail by 22 points. Had their chances, just cannot put one through the big sticks. Bradley Stokes always finds an option. Stokes looking for the lead up. Wants a possession. Will he get it? He will. It's not him. It's Jason Davin. Poor kick. Tigers. Kick in hope. Go forward. Eilert. I reckon the siren's gone before he got it. 5:11:41 to 9:8:62.
Yeah, we've got...
Field umpire got that right. Sorry,
yeah,
Nick.
absolutely. Definitely didn't get to the mark in time. We've got 5 single goal kickers for the Tigers. Jack Hammond's got one. Phoenix Joe Poole with one. Daniel Jackson, Pilates and Bailey Edwards with the others. For the Buffs, 4 for Liam Holt Fitz in an outstanding second and third quarter. A couple of big assists as well. Antonio James, 2 big goals in that quarter as well. Thomas Clark with one, Mitch Robinson with one, and Tanner Coulthard with the other. As we go into 5 goals 11 for the Tigers, 41 to the Darwin Buffaloes, 9 goals 8-62 as we end the third quarter.
So 21-point lead to the Darwin Buffaloes. They led by 10 at half time. Nightcliff led by 6 at quarter time, but 3-quarter time, 21-point lead to the Darwin Buffaloes.
Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to the final quarter here at TIO Stadium for Larrakia, here at Larrakia Country. My name's Nick Tanks, part of South Indian Butterworth. Ian, big third quarter.
Look, it was a big third quarter, and it's the one they call the premiership quarter. It's a cliche, I know it is, but certainly with Mitch Robinson, it's hot for him out there in the middle. He's got his jumper rolled up in typical Mitch Robinson fashion in the up here in the top end in Darwin. But it was just a terrific quarter by the Darwin Buffaloes. They led by 10 points at half time. They extended it to 21 points at three-quarter time. The breeze has really died down, so they're kicking against the breeze, if you like, Darwin Buffaloes to the Michael Long Learning Centre end, but it wouldn't matter.
No, they look good at Antonio James, and Liam Holtz-Fitz had a blinder third quarter as well.
They did indeed. Butler back in ruck, and that's where he should be, but he can't be at both ends. They want him down forward because they've got no one down there to take a mark, but they need him in the ruck as Darwin kicked off the ground and kicking in danger, and a correct decision by the field umpire, and it'll be a free kick inside the first minute. So there's a chance for the Tigers to get one back.
They're going to need to take all their opportunities this quarter. They've had some very inaccurate kicking, 5 goals, 11, and a couple of those at absolute certainties they should have got. Here's another opportunity here to try and get rid of those yips.
I know I'm repeating myself, but it was they kicked 3 goals, 7 in the last term against St Mary's last week, and it's Aidan Robinson directly in front, near enough to directly in front, kicking to the airport end, and he started off poorly, missed.
Takes them to 5 goals, 12-42. The Darwin Buffaloes 9 goals, 8-62. They've got to take those opportunities this quarter, obviously, the Tigers, or else this could be all over very quickly.
Bradley Stokes goes the long option out there in the jock direction. Can't take the mark. Bit of push and shove. Nightcliff now with the work to do. Running around on the left foot. Over the back. Got the sit Darwin Buffaloes. Knocked forward. Series of handballs. Mummery goes forward and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Once again, that's another wasted opportunity. Go to the top of the square if you can't make the distance. Stokes brings it back. Teammate let him down, but he's got 10 metres. His player's got 10 metres. They've switched scoreboard side. Still inside defensive 50. Now they're outside. Plenty of time, plenty of room, Nick. Too much time, too much room.
There was a bit training drillish there. Even with a couple of mistakes, they still had plenty of time with the ball.
And still got plenty of time with the ball. Inside. Robinson's lurking. Man with the footy, Hayden Brown, been fantastic. So is this bloke. They've all been good, haven't they? APW, all played well. Coulthard goes forward. Half forward. Coco Nicky drops it. Play on called the umpire. Coulthard puts some pressure on. Nightcliff handball their way out of trouble. Jay Moody was good early. Had a lot of teammates who were good early. Nightcliff, Philo, under pressure. Always under pressure. Goes back a long, long way.
Another opportunity for the Tigers.
Yeah.
See what happened there. He must have done something off the ball. The umpire was right onto it.
Must get this. And the skipper does nail it. About time. It's a goal. Sean Wilson, I'm sorry. 4th quarter goal for the Tigers. It brings them back at least within Cooey.
They've had a couple of opportunities early in this final quarter, and they've eventually took one. They need to take obviously a couple more to get right back in this. 48 points to Nightcliff, 62 to the Darwin Buffs. The other game being played at the moment at Tracy Village. Wanderers are currently leading the Tiwi Bombers by 32 points at three-quarter time.
Looked a bit soft, the free kick, but the field umpires have done a terrific job, generally on the ball.
Yep.
So we've got the man Sterling Mitchell in blue against Harry Butler. He's in the black and gold. Their opponents up in the middle. Butler over the top. The clearance. Again, got to be a one grabber. Oh, beautifully manoeuvred. Buffaloes defensively have been outstanding today. Nightcliff favouring the grandstand side. Coulthard. Ball out of bounds. 62 plays 48. Darwin Buffaloes in control. The clock's stuck on 25 minutes.
They're about just over 4 minutes into this final quarter.
Over the back. Bit of pressure. Taken high, Nightcliff. Play on called the field umpire. He'll get up and pick his eye up later. Bit of traffic in there. The field umpire was blindsided. Butler in ruck. He's won pretty much everything when he's been in ruck, but they've had him in ruck and they've had him up forward. Nightcliff go forward. Mummery, will he run out of bounds? Will he run out of room? He doesn't run out of bounds. He doesn't run out of room. He gets it to Wilson. Wilson snap on goal, hits the post. They just cannot buy a goal.
I reckon that's 5 that have hit the post today. I didn't go counting at the time, but I reckon there was 2 in the second quarter and there's been 2 in this quarter, and there was 1 earlier on as well. So they've, if hitting the post was accuracy, they'd be right, but they're certainly missing it up.
Should get double points. Should get 12 points for hitting the post, but unfortunately they don't. 49 plays 62. Jock, as the game's gone on, he's got better. Goes forward, kicks precisely. Gets it out to a teammate, Patrick Bowles. Bowles goes further forward. Good defensive mark, Nightcliff. No good having the ball down there, though. The Tigers have got to mark it up forward. Mucked it up. Jared Stokes puts the pressure on. First tackle was high, and the field umpire got it. Ryan Moo.
Played on quickly. We kicked it straight to Buff's player. Kicked it straight back to him. So we'll start that again.
Take two. Ryan Moo. Scoreboard side. Got to hurry up. Double whistle there. Play on, call the umpire, and a big mark over the back. But they've got to mark it further forward. Nightcliff go inside by hand to Philo. Philo, up and under. What's on offer? Nicky drops what he should have taken. Certainly should have taken that. Eilert gets the ball out. Goes back by hand. Does it effectively, but probably threw it away. And it'll be a free kick deep in defence. Coco Nicky, what's he doing down there? Probably because the coach, Damien Zammit, told him to get down back. Hold him up. Jock. Hesitated. Jock's got it. Goes forward. Grandstand side. Ball in dispute. Our man James down there. Jock inside to Robinson. Robinson had a great first quarter. Been all right since then too. Goes forward and the ball is out of bounds. Not out of bounds on the full. Be tossed in by the boundary umpire between wing and half forward left. Darwin Buffaloes slightly in attack.
I think the clock on the screen's about 3 or 4 minutes behind if you have a look at it, because we're actually about 7 minutes into this quarter, so it's about not completely accurate, the time clock at the moment.
Free kick and a push out in the ruck. Butler pushed his opponent out, and Sterling Mitchell too far out to score. Come around, said the field umpire, and rightly so once again. Oh, there's another finger out. I hate seeing that. Liam Whelan. So it'll be Sterling Mitchell, the chop out ruckman for Chris Atkinson. Too far out to score. Mitchell hasn't scored a goal. Nice kick off the boot. It was a beauty. Forward they go. In front. Couldn't take the mark. In dispute. Darwin Buffalo's working hard. Was there a high tackle in there? On Jock. Not according to the field umpire, so therefore there wasn't a high tackle down there, but it is left full forward. Buffaloes well in attack. Ball on the ground, picked up Holt Fitz, kicks on goal, up and under, went 15 metres, and a mark taken by Mitch Robinson. And they crowd around him. I reckon he's got a cramp. That's from the first quarter.
Yeah, he's been struggling with the heat out there. I'd love to have a chat to him after the game, because he had the shirt rolled up like in training, and he certainly was feeling it.
And his mate Jock's, Jock's the same, Thomas Jock. All those Southerners, they got the shirt rolled up.
Yeah, well, he got the first goal of the game, Mitch Robinson. I think he popped this one over the goal umpire's head, and I really think that'll do for Buffs tonight. I think they look really good in this game since about halfway through the second quarter, and we've still got a bit of time to go, obviously, but Tigers just don't look like they can pin this one back.
Bookends for Robinson.
Yep.
Does it and does it well, as you suggested. They've got one in the first 2 minutes in, and now he's got one in the fourth. He could go for a well-earned rest, I reckon, and it is certainly the Darwin Buffaloes. 10-8-68, leading Nightcliff 6-13-49. Wasteful Nightcliff Tigers.
Yeah, after 17 points last week, 13 this week, and 4 or 5 of those were absolute certainties they should have scored, but they've not taken their opportunities when they've had them, and they've found struggling to actually get some opportunities tonight. So it's been a real shock for them. But we've still got about 10 or 15 minutes to go in this game, but I just can't see the Tigers pinning this one back. But it would be great football if they do.
6 goals in 3.5 quarters of football. Not enough, is it?
No, not enough. They haven't looked good coming into their 50 all night. They've had a couple of good goals, but the rest of it's always been fairly scrappy, and the Buffs have certainly had the measure of them tonight.
I think Weedy Hayes might have transgressed. There was a 6-6-6, but that's the first one. No free kick, just the warning. Next one, Weedy, if you're inside, it's a free kick. Thomas Jock onto the left foot. Gee, he's been terrific.
Yep.
Goes forward. In the back, play on called the umpire. Picked up by Sterling Mitchell. Mitchell goes forward. Running out of options, Nightcliff. Favouring the grandstand side. Tom North hasn't done enough. Onto the left foot, raking kick. Goes to right half forward. Cameron Islet gets out by hand. Polides up and under because he was under pressure. The Darwin Buffalo defence has been terrific. Over the back. Handball in hope. Poor old Cameron Islet was on his back. He just couldn't get up. He couldn't stop himself from collapsing there. And Nightcliff in a bit of problem, but certainly the Darwin Buffalo defence will close ranks here and probably see the ball out of bounds into the guise of I'm really trying field umpire.
Absolutely.
And the field umpire's given him that. And Matt Watkins was allowed to carry the ball out of bounds. He was under enough pressure.
Yeah, he dropped it 3 or 4 times, eventually went out of bounds for him, but he certainly did it the right way round though.
He did it indeed. Right half forward, the Nightcliff in attack, grandstand side at Marara Oval. Ball on the ground in dispute, flicked out by Stokes. Again, Darwin Buffaloes, they're just working it beautifully. 2-on-1 here, and the one might win out in the end, but he was pushed out of bounds. And it'll be a boundary throw in. And a pretty good effort there by Liam Whelan. It really has been APW by the Buffaloes, all played well.
They have absolutely had a great game. Since they looked a bit scrappy in that first 5 or 10 minutes of the first quarter, but since then they have been absolutely on song, and they've had a great night.
Might be Damien Zammit. His coaching credentials, 100%.
Yeah, big night at the Buff Club tonight for David.
Yeah, good on him. Well done. And we're a little preempting a little bit because that's out of bounds on the full, but Tigers are in defence, and they've got a long way to go to get to the goal line and also to get ahead on the scoreboard because they trail 49-68. Short. Grandstand side. Pushed out again. Free kick. They're getting enough of the football. They've been wasteful in front. Grandstand side. Tigers. I don't know where they go from here. They've got to get John Butcher back or someone up front. Inside. Mummery. Can he make amends? He does. Cameron Islet. Directly in front. Man on the mark. 20 metres from goal. Islet will kick this. What does that take him? 55, so it's only 13 points. Islet kicks the goal. He does kick the goal. That's his first for the game. 7-13-55, 10-8-68, so it is 13 points.
Yep, and we're about the 13th minute mark of this quarter. As I said, the time clock's about 5 minutes behind. There's a bit of a glip at the start of the quarter. But you're right, it's only 13 points, and the Tigers are the type of side that can to come back and do it.
Beautifully done by Michael Mummery there. We saw him, normally he would have a crack, but obviously the voice and the presence of Cameron Islet suggested that I better kick it to the skipper, and he did that.
Yep.
Back in the middle, Butler v Atkinson. Butler gets it over the back. The defence Midfield defence of Darwin has been exemplary all game. Favretto hasn't had much of it, but he's a strong, big, strongly built young man. Kicks the ball forward. Darwin Buffaloes. And a big, big mark. Yeah, good mark. That might be Hayden Brown. The lanky frame. No, it's not Hayden Brown. It is Liam Whelan. Still a lanky frame. Whelan directly in front.
No one's come to him. He looks pretty comfortable, confident here.
He does, doesn't he? Looks like he's a goal kicker. Leans forward, kicks right from 50. Distance is not a problem, but accuracy is slightly deficient. And we're back to 14 points.
So the Buffaloes 10-9, 69, and the Nightcliff Tigers 7-13, 55.
Ball brought in, nice long kick over the back, good mark. Nightcliff. Got to hurry up. It only says 11 minutes, just about on the clock, but it's about 4 minutes further in, so about halfway through the quarter, more than halfway through the quarter. Picked up Darwin Buffaloes. Flicked the ball out. Nice handball. Another nice handball. Working it beautifully. Inside, and a lovely kick and a strong mark that time by Patrick Bowles. Bowles has had plenty of it. Goes forward. What's on offer? Not much. Out of bounds. But at least it's at the right end of the field for the Darwin Buffaloes, the double blues, the men in blue. They do lead by 14 points, and we're about 15 and a half minutes into the final term. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. They've worked pretty hard today, the poor old boundaries. Picked up by Liam Holt-Fitz. Kicks right to the goal line. Ball still in dispute. Handball out. Thomas Jock onto the left. I reckon he's nailed that. Goal umpire comes back to the right side, and he has. That's the game, I reckon. That's the game. Nice goal to Thomas Jock, and finishes off a pretty good game by that man.
Yeah, they've had, as you said, all the players from the Buffs have done well. That was his first goal. Mitch Robinson's got a couple. Antonio James has got a couple. And, of course, Liam Holt-Fitz has got 4. And he's put the cue in the rack a little bit. But they certainly have looked good today. The Buffs now with a 20-point lead as we're coming into about the 16th minute mark of the quarter. You're watching the AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium in Darwin on a beautiful night for football. And of course, don't forget, after this game, we've got Pint taking on Southern Districts for round 8 of AFLNT.
And Wanderers well in control out at Tracy Village over the Tiwi Bombers. Back in the middle, Atkinson and Butler. Butler wins it and wins it comfortably, but once again they've got to get it out, Nightcliff. They can't get it out. They did that time. Ball in dispute. Running hard after the football, taken high, play on called the umpire. Moo, one of his rare possessions, up and under. But the defence of Darwin, just terrific. And in front, the mark correctly, a warranted mark paid to Hayden Brown. Brown, deep in defence, grandstand side. Will swing a big left foot outside defensive 50. Mitch Robinson, up he goes. And the ball is taken out of bounds. Robinson cramped up a little bit.
Yeah, he's been struggling with cramp for about the last 15 minutes or so, but he has felt the heat out there today, but he has not stopped running. He's been up and down that ground, and an outstanding effort from Mitch Robinson tonight.
It's been terrific. Particularly that first quarter, we keep raving back to that where I reckon he had almost a dozen possessions. But anyway, ball back in dispute. Coulthard's been very good. Onto the left foot, kicks it wide. Jared Stokes, been quiet by his standards in the middle part of the game. Thomas Jock hasn't. He's been fantastic. Back to Stokes. Stokes handball was probably run out of puff and just didn't have the energy to affect the handball as he would have liked. And the Tigers are up and away. They've got a long, long way to go. They trail by 20 points. And I reckon we're just about to tick into time on, close to time on in the final term. Ball out of bounds, deep in the forward line, at left half forward for Nightcliff. Nightcliff going in this final term to the airport end at Marara.
The breeze has died down a little bit, and it certainly won't help the Tigers get these goals back. And I think, as I said, we're about to get into time on here in the final quarter.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Robinson over the back for Nightcliff. Not Mitch Robinson for Darwin Buffaloes. Aidan Robinson for Nightcliff. The big man, number 8. There he is. Ball on the ground. Ball in dispute. Nightcliff working hard to keep the ball inside their forward half. Wilson. But a free kick has been plucked, and the free kick will go to Armat Watkins. Armat Watkins goes back. Confident kick. Buffaloes forward. Still inside defensive 50. What's on offer? Not much. Kicks it long in the direction of a teammate, but in fact straight into the arms of an opponent, and Jay Moody, who's been all right, but he's like a lot of Nightcliff players. They've been all right, whereas Darwin players have been outstanding. They've had more a wider spread of good players. Chipped and didn't chip in Hope. Chipped to Hayden Brown. Onto the left foot. Goes in the Armat Watkins direction. Can't take the mark, but he's got plenty of other options. Picked up Darwin Buffaloes. At the time it was Thomas Clark, the vice captain. They go forward. Thomas Clark. Our man's been just a little bit quiet, Antonio James, but gee, didn't he have a good third quarter where he kicked 2 goals. Gets it forward. Coco Nicky. Been good all day. Nicky sells the dummy one way, then the other. Will he get around him? He doesn't. And
took too long, then he got told to play on, and he got himself in all sorts of trouble.
Might have been pushed in the back, but no, the ball is allowed to be out of bounds. And a pretty good effort there by Luke Wines. Nicky outsmarted himself then.
Absolutely did. I think he thought he had more time. I think he wanted to handball off to his mate. His mate ran straight past him, and he went, now what do I do?
All dressed up and nowhere to go was Coco, and picked up by Collison, and Collison somehow off the side of the boot gets the ball forward and does it well, and does it to the man of the moment, Liam Holt-Fitz, former Nightcliff player, 3-time or triple premiership player with Nightcliff Tigers. Holt-Fitz has 4 goals. Can he finish up with a handful?
I think he's got an opportunity from here. He looks pretty confident.
He's settling down, isn't he? Pulling the socks up. He'll be on the right foot. Very acute angle. Going to the Michael Long Learning Centre end at Marara Oval. Has 4. Liam Holt-Fitz kicks and kicks deliberately. Cross the face of goal. You'll say he passed this, but he must have passed it to a defender, because the Tigers, they're out of trouble momentarily. Running hard is Xavier Grant. He's got a couple to beat. Grant, will he flick the ball out backwards? He does. He does it nicely. Gets it out to Bradley Stokes. One way. Now the Bradley, that was about 3 metres. That wouldn't have been a mark anyway. Stokes tries to rectify his indiscretion there, and the ball will be out of bounds. Cameron Island will see the ball out of bounds. Left half forward, 60 metres around from the Nightcliff goal. Airport end. Scoreboard side. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Butler in front. Wins the tap. Ball in dispute. Give it to me, said the field umpire. If he didn't, he should, and he did.
Not many goals in this quarter, so not much time left, you wouldn't think.
Now well into time on. Mitchell took the front position. Philo inside. Oh, Armat Watkins dropped what he should have taken, and
goal.
That was a goal. I'm not sure who to give that to, whether to give that to Mummery, and there's the siren. We'll give it to Mummery, and I'm not sure that he didn't get a sprig to that, but that's the final siren, and that will be a goal on the board.
Yep, so we end up with the final score, 61 points to Nightcliff Tigers. The Buffs coming away as 75. 8 goals, 13 the Tigers end up getting. 61 to 11-9, 75. Goal kickers for Nightcliff, all singles to Mummery, Hammond, Poole, Eilert, Jackson, Pilates, Edwards and Wilson. Multiple goal kickers though for the Buffs. They've got Liam Fitzholtz ended up with 4. Mitch Robertson got 2, one right at the beginning of the game, one towards the end there as well. Antonio James a couple as well, and singles to Coulthard, Clark and Jock. But a good game, and Buffs look really good tonight.
Look, they did. Nightcliff jumped out a little bit early, led by 6 points at quarter time, but then all over Red Rover. It was Darwin by 10 points at half time, 21 points at three quarter time, and they finished up winning by 14 points, 11-9 to 8-13. And again, that 8-13 is crucial for the Nightcliff Tigers. They need to rectify that. I don't know how they do it. They just need to straighten up forward.
That's 30 points in 2 weeks for the Tigers, and as you said, that was an 8-point game tonight too as well, because that's now taken the Buffs to 4 wins and 2 losses on the season, but Nightcliff now at 3 and 4, so it's going to be. It was a big game, a big win for the Buffs tonight.
It was indeed. And Nick, they're just an even spread, aren't they, Darwin Buffaloes? There's not much that you. I keep saying APW all played well, and that's pretty much how it happened, wasn't it? They just had so many good players across the board.
Absolutely, and the Tigers struggled all night getting into this side their 50, as with all the single goal kickers, they just didn't have a focal point of someone who was going to nab a couple of goals from tonight. But it's been a pleasure to host you this afternoon. My name is Nick Daggs. I was joined by Ian Butterworth. Stay tuned for more Round 8 action tonight in the Men's Premier League. Pint taking on Southern Districts, broadcasting live from TIO Stadium for the NT News. Good night.